This video is a bug out challenge I undertook after reading an article from Off-Grid magazine. The goal being to put together a bug out bag quickly and most importantly spending only $50 on the items. So in this quarter's issue of Off-Grid magazine, they posed a scenario to 3 survival experts. The situation is an EMP event occurred while you're visiting your relatives. You have none of your own supplies with you and they have limited gear. They certainly weren't prepared for a disaster. The EMP has knocked out virtually everything within 40 miles. So what do you do? 2 of the experts gather supplies and bugged out, while 1 sheltered in place. That got me thinking of how I might handle that situation, and so I thought I'd challenge myself and attempt this scenario. For my approach, I set up some parameters. Now, if I was in this type of situation, I might try to gather supplies quickly. I'd only focus on 1 store, and that had to have as much stuff as I would likely need. And I'm sure others might have the same idea, so I'd need to be in quick, real in and out type of approach. And since electronics aren't working, I could only pay with cash, so $50 would be my limit. So given those parameters, it made sense that the place I'd do my shopping was a Dollar Tree store. With the approach in mind and the store set, let's take a look at how successful I was in my $50 bug out challenge. For fire and light, I was able to source some decent fire and light options. I've got multiple lighters, candles, and 2 flashlights, one of which also has a whistle for signaling. For shelter, I got 5 39-gallon yard waste bags. Now these were the biggest and most durable they had. Now I'm thinking I could tape a few of these together for a tarp or a bag, or use as an emergency poncho. Since I'm in the Northwest, rain is always an issue, so this is important to me. The reflective windshield covers can be used for ground cover or reflecting fire for warmth. For water, I got 6 bottles. Now I'll need to ration this, but my hope is to find clean sources along the way. Unfortunately, there was no purification options in the store, and they were all out of bleach. I could potentially use the small cans in my food for boiling water if it came to that, or I could boil from the bottles themselves, but I've had mixed results doing that before. So while I could have bought more water, I worried about the weight. This is probably where the bag falls down the most. For first aid, I've got basic things covered here. I have sanitizer and wipes, a simple boo-boo kit, and then I've added surgical pads and an ACE bandage, and those could be used to handle any trauma situations I might have. I may have gone overboard on food, since you can certainly carry on without food for quite some time. This is probably more for comfort and certainly energy, especially since I'm traveling for approximately 40 miles. All of these items, though, are non-cooked, so I can eat on the go. In hindsight, I'm not sure I needed the masks or eye protection, given the nature of the scenario I'm addressing, but they hardly weigh anything, so I figured I'd add them. I'd probably use these more in the event of a volcano or something like that. Now, I've also added in an additional pair of socks and bandanas as well. And I found a decent-sized paring knife that I felt I could use for self-defense. The nice thing about it is it had a good plastic sheath, so I could carry that on my belt or pocket. Now, there were bigger knives for sure, but then I would carry those without a sheath, which would be tough to manage. These items are certainly nice to haves and more for morale purposes. So I've got toothpaste, deodorant, playing cards to pass time around the fire, and then a pen and pads. Again, not crucial, but I wanted to make sure I had them. For tools, I got cordage, duct tape, some super glue, and a multi-function pocket knife. It's cheap, but it'll do the trick. I also found a decent crowbar, which I can use as a tool itself for prying, but I can also substitute it as an item for protection purposes if needed. The biggest challenge in this challenge was once I had all the items in my cart, I needed to find a bag to carry everything. Unfortunately, they don't have backpacks at this Dollar Tree, so I opted for 2 options. First, I found a laundry bag, and then I also found a large laundry storage Ziploc bag. So what I did was I put the Ziploc inside the laundry bag, which provided more durability for holding all the items, and then it also kept things waterproof. That was essentially the bag option I went with. So here's the final outcome. The bag weighs approximately 15 pounds, but it's big and bulky and really not ideal to carry. I think I would hope I could find a pack or something back at my relative's house for a better carry option. If not, then the option would be to take a wood dowel or broom handle and tie it to one end and carry like a hobo. As for the total cost, guess what? I came in with $50 and I spent a total of $49.62. I was able to cover all my must-haves and even the nice-to-have items, and I feel pretty good that with this one-stop shopping trip, I'd be fairly prepared for a 40-mile, 2 to 3 day hike. So there you have it, my $50 bug out challenge. I'd love to hear your thoughts, so please post your comments below. Or even better, maybe you could try something similar. Maybe it's a different dollar store, or at Home Depot, or even a mini mart. See, the options are endless, but the choice of gear and the prices are what makes this an interesting challenge, and it's always good to be prepared.